Hello, my name's Mason Miles, and this is Audio, my latest project. Um, Audio is kind of like a podcast app, but it's a little more complicated. It's kind of like a three-sided marketplace with the listeners, the creators, and advertisers or businesses. And then even on top of that, I've added kind of agencies and networks so that they can also come in and manage the businesses or podcasts they represent. So here's my landing page. This is very boilerplate, just basic. I need to come in and fix some of the copyright as my project's changed since I first made this. But let's just hop right in. Let's sign in. I just made an account, a little listen. Let's see, listener at audio.app. So my project is using Firebase for authentication, and basically my CDN. And then let's see. So obviously the front end here was built using TypeScript, React, Tailwind, and on Next.js. And then my backend, instead of using Next.js, I made my backend with Java, using Spring Boot. So yeah, and then I'm using Postgres. So basically everything gets routed from the front end here to my back end, and then from there to my cache, um, using Redis and Postgres for my databases and caching. Okay, so let's sign in here. Let's log in. Um, this is yeah, need to get rid of this page from my flow. That's iteration one. Don't need that anymore. It's okay. The user comes in, they hit their dashboard. Um, you got, this is like from their perspective of a brand new account. So there's no feeds that they follow or they don't know anything. So it's kind of just displaying trending episodes or recommended podcasts, kind of based on which podcasts have a lot of followers or high ratings. Um, yeah, so, and then also on the dashboard here are these trending clips. So clips is something that I've created. I'll talk about the details in a minute. But yeah, so it's kind of like the main landing board or dashboard. If if a user listens to some audio here, let's go back. Let's play this audio. So Caleb Presley, this little audio plays here. Okay, so Theo Vaughn. But yeah, if I listen to this for at least a minute, I'm gonna, let's see, good Manscaped ad. But if I listen to that for a minute, then also on this home, it's gonna show currently or continue listening. If a user hasn't finished the episode, I'm just gonna click out of this though for now. And then over here, yeah, so like in history, that episode pops up, and I'm able to also move it to different categories. So I can bookmark it or add it to my favorited. I can add it to up next and manage my queue there, um, or remove from history. Eventually, I'll add a button to clear all history. Yeah, so that kind of explains that. And all of these tabs. Okay, let's go back. So let's say a user wants to follow Joe Rogan. They can just easily follow. Um, I need to make that so it doesn't show the loading screen. That's a little bug I need to fix. But now you're following Joe Rogan. And so, yeah, click into here. Here's his landing page. Basically, this is kind of what I was talking about with the three-sided marketplace. So like an advertiser can come in, or a business, create an ad, and you have these cards on the feed level and episode level. It's a little more complicated than that. I've made some just dummy cards or dummy businesses for now, but yeah, it kind of gets the point across. let's go back to his feed. So this is kind of like a feed landing page. The idea is like kind of make it similar to YouTube in a way. Podcasting could really benefit from a lot of aspects that YouTube has. So I'm trying to make a way for creators to access more and create more community. So landing page here, initially it's just recent episodes. Obviously nobody's listening to my or playing in my platform right now, but if they were, as soon as Joe Rogan has, say, at least 100 listens, then this page kind of becomes a little more customized. So based on it, it's gonna have different kind of rows of content. So like highly rated episodes, most listened episodes, most listened to clips or most played clips, most shared clips, and then like a pinned episode from the creator up here. But since nobody's in here yet, it just shows this for default. Episodes, kind of the same page, but we have latest, popular, and rating. Little UI bug there I need to fix. Clips. So clips. Oh, okay. Another UI bug I need to fix. But so clips are something that I created. I wrote another program, also with Java, that basically and Python. I'm running this on a computer that's got a pretty beefy GPU, and what it's doing is it's pulling the episode information, and then it's pulling the audio, and then I've downloaded onto my computer using PyTorch. I am transcribing the audio with Whisper, OpenAI's like Whisper model. I want to say Whisper X. It's been like a month since I set it up, but so it's transcribing all of the audio, and then I'm sending that to currently I'm using Google just because they have a nice free tier. So my computer can transcribe about 1,200 podcasts a day. And then Google allows about 1,500 API calls per day. So it's kind of works out perfect there. So I'm sending the transcript along with a system prompt to Gemini, and it's spitting back. It's bringing back kind of the summary system. Let me show you. So like when you click into an episode, I can click on my summaries here. And so it's giving me kind of like a summary of this episode, like what it was about. And then it's also giving me kind of topics with timestamps. And that's what I'm using for these clips. So like this episode has these clips. Yeah, quite a few. And if you click into this clip, it's gonna kind of it's gonna pull up the exact spot in the audio where that clip begins. So it begins discussing German cars here. Now, there's a small issue with dynamic ads. Some of the hosts and creators use dynamic ads, and eventually I have a solution for that. Not going to get into it right now, but that way I can link exactly to where the AI believes the topic begins. And I also have ways to customize that if the topic is a little off or the timestamp's a little off. But so let's go back to the episode. There's a little more to show here. So yeah, just a basic social app. I can say like this was a terrific listen, and we can comment that. Okay, here's my username. In the future, obviously have some UI error there where the timestamp is not displaying accurately. Can reply to this, can like it, whatever. So also up here, the idea is kind of like to make it like a Goodreads, but for podcasts. So every episode, a user can rate the episode. So we'll be nice here. Now, yes, ideally, I just haven't implemented this yet because I'm testing, but you can only rate an episode after you've listened to about 5 minutes. That's kind of what I've decided I'm going to do. And this app is also tracking a lot of the users' data in terms of like how much of the episode they listened. This is something that's lacking in the podcast community where hosts will feed up an audio. They'll feed up the audio, but they don't know, a lot of them don't know like when you stopped listening, how long you listened. Basically, they just say if you downloaded the full audio, it counts as a download. Otherwise, if you streamed it for at least a minute, it counts as a listen. So that's like kind of the only things they're really tracking. But my app, I've made it so that every 40 seconds, sorry, no, that's what YouTube does. I've made it so that every 5 minutes of listen, because podcasts are kind of a little bit longer, and usually you just kind of set it and play it. So every 5 minutes for now. I might lower that in the future to get kind of more precise data. But every 5 minutes, it's sending an API. It's sending a little packet to my backend, and it's tracking that. So it's kind of adding on to the current listen, and then as soon as anybody skips forward 30 seconds, skips back 10 seconds, or pauses the episode or starts it, then it's also tracking those interactions. So ideally, eventually, I can have and show creators precise analytics about like their episodes, what people liked, what they didn't like. So, okay, that was a bit of a tangent. Yeah, the clips, same thing. You can bookmark these, add them to your list, whatever. I don't know if there's much else to talk about there. The summaries, though, this is kind of cool. So once I get the transcript, then I set up another program that dissects that, so it kind of like counts for filler words. And this is not AI. This is just hard-coded words that I have that it's looking for within the transcript. So in this episode, they said like 400 times, quite a bit. Also, some potty words. I do have an explicit tag that a listener can turn on and off. And yeah, but it's just interesting and kind of fun. And then some common terms. So what was talked about in the episode, and pop culture references, which sometimes is kind of fun. This episode, it's kind of dry. Some ratings here. So like the AI is kind of returning a value if, what it thinks. Was this very conspiratorial? Was there controversy? And how was vocabulary? So if I go to say a Theo Vaughn, I bet the vocabulary will be lower. We can test that right now. Let's go check. Let's see. So, okay, here's a Theo Vaughn. Let's see what the summary is here. Vocabulary is a 2. So, yeah, but if I type in something a little more precise, let's say Lex Friedman in my search here. Okay, so Lex Friedman, he's on Joe Rogan. Let's go to his actual podcast. And then, okay, let's see what this says here. Summary. Oh, vocabulary is only a 4. If I go to an episode where he's talking about, say, AI or like this, let's see, Tim Sweeney. Okay, a 9 vocabulary. So, yeah, that's as expected with this. Okay, that kind of summarizes. Oh, I've got these cool things too. Journeys. This page needs a lot of work. My idea here is like it's going to have just a bunch of kind of topics or like almost nouns. And then the user can click on one. I'll probably have like just a bunch of nouns or like of the titles. And then when the user hovers, it'll show kind of this full card or something. But if the user clicks on this, so dark enlightenment, then this is just a mock journey I kind of made up on the back end, but it pulls a bunch of clips from a lot of different feeds that I've created, or that I haven't created, but a lot of different feeds. But I've added these clips to this journey that talk about dark enlightenment. So this is like a rabbit hole, I guess, scene where you go down the rabbit hole. Now, this isn't just going to be for conspiracies and rabbit holes, but for kind of how to, but it's taking audio or small clips from multiple feeds, multiple podcasts, and kind of chunking it down into smaller little bits. Now about the clips and the process to create those, it's a little more complicated than just saying AI give me some timestamps. There's a little more to it in terms of waveforms and finding the precise things to look for. But yeah, that kind of summarizes my journeys. If we go home, yeah, that's my experience. That's kind of what it looks like from the side of a listener. Now, let's log out, and we're gonna sign in with a different account. So let's go creator at audio.app. Gotta remember that password. Okay, so like this creator, if somebody owns a feed and they make podcasts and stuff, then yeah, the listening experience all the same for them. But they can go to their creator dashboard here. This is just static because I don't have actual real stats, but okay. So this is a podcast, random podcast I linked to this account. It shows content, so like their clips, episodes, live, premium content, kind of the details or stats. Once again, it's static just because I don't have any details here. But we'll link it. One of the coolest parts about this, so there's a few sides to this. So like earn, so like similar to YouTube, how you can start earning on YouTube. We're gonna set up a similar process here. So we're gonna track: do you have followers? Do people listen to your content? So you need so many hours, and then you can qualify to kind of earn money on the platform. And then yeah, marketing. Don't need to get into that, but sponsorship, marketplace. So this is cool. This is where creators can come in, businesses can make contracts, and there's another section I'm going to add here, but businesses can make contracts, and creators can come in and find contracts they like. So a 60-second host read ad at the beginning of the episode. These are just kind of fake businesses that I've made for these cards, obviously, but yeah. So they can click in, accept the contract, excuse me, and go from there. So that kind of summarizes the creator aspect. There is something I do want to show. Let's log out here and let's actually go to the link. So this is like for creators, like how you kind of sign up. And let's make a new account. So this is going to be like YouTube walkthrough at Oddio.app. Testing. Sure. Oops. Testing. Okay. Whatever. Works. Password. So let's sign up. Let's create an account. Little graphical issue there. Need to set the loading screen. Okay. Terms and services. So basic dashboard. Let's just accept these guys so we can move on. So currently when somebody signs up for an account or creates an account, their account initially is just marked as a listener for authorization issues and questions. And then here they can convert their account from a listener to a creator. And get, kind of unlock different perks. In the middle of this though, so after this button hits, I'm going to send them to a Stripe kind of payment system. So like, and they can skip that, but if they want the extra benefits of a creator, they have to pay for kind of the creator amount subscription. So we confirm this. So okay, imagine we just went to the Stripe checkout, and now we're here to link your feed. So oops. Okay. So it looks like a little bug there, logging out of the last guy. I need to fix that where it also cleans the state in my components for the creator. So this is a new creator. He hasn't linked any accounts or any feeds. So let's link a feed. Let's just say, I don't know. Say pod save America. This guy was on Survivor. So it looks like there's 3 different feeds here, all named pod save America. And let's see if this works. So sometimes some of these feeds have on their RSS feed, it's private and they can hide their email. So I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe I should use a feed that I know will work. I know Joe Rogan's will work. So if I select the Joe Rogan experience, then I click here at this to link the feed, it's going to API to my backend. It's going to read the RSS feed, try to find the email, and throw this into his pending list. Okay. So yeah, this is pending approval. So the idea here is like he can now go in. We did find this email on his RSS feed and it's initiated. So I have not implemented this because obviously I don't want to be sending emails to all these accounts while I'm testing, but it's going to come back and give him a code. So I'm going to go into my Postgres database and I'm going to get the code. So this one is 617374. And yeah, you can also copy and paste or whatever into this, but we submit the code, then it's going to verify that it is the same code. And once that's finished, it now has linked the feed. So if I continue here to the creator console, I now can respond to comments and act on behalf of Joe Rogan Experience. So yeah, that's kind of what it's like from the creator side. Now, as far as that email service goes, so I'm going to use the just SES with Amazon. I think that's pretty simple. It's set up straightforward. And we'll use that as well for other emailing purposes, such as marketing. Yeah, not going to jump into that. Might be a little too much IP there. But, okay, let's sign out. And this isn't really needed, but I'll sign into my admin account here. If I can remember my password. And I still need to finish onboarding. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of what I was explaining earlier. We have new episodes from accounts I follow or feeds I follow, recommended. Here's some trending. And then here's my little image here. But there's also this admin dashboard that I can go to. Okay. Haven't set this up. Got a lot of stuff going on here, but yeah, some of these work. So these are kind of profile pictures where I can create profile pictures because users, for now, I'm not going to let users upload their own profile pictures, but I'm going to create them myself and then have like kind of a store. So if they listen or participate in the app, then they get like audio points. And you can then spend them at a store to unlock like different pictures. So here's a default, kind of tells you some details there. And then here's, yeah, just the other one I created. Kind of funny images. And then we'll have badges, kind of a similar thing where creators can create badges and users unlock them as they listen to more content from certain creators and different things like that. And then prestige, so yeah, if you participate in the app and do certain things, you get prestige points and you kind of get like badges. Yeah, that's the idea. And then from here, I can create different pictures and different badges. And yeah, just basic things. I need to kind of fix the UI here, but it works. can look up different things here. Oh, I don't know if I went into my search discussion. So here's my search. And I can kind of type in any app, any word. So let's just say Utah, I guess. And all these podcasts that kind of talk about Utah or clips that discuss Utah get brought up. So, yeah, really cool. I think this will help kind of podcasting search engines significantly, especially creators, to be found, as it's kind of a hard right now to find feeds you like. So here's some feeds. Probably gonna rework this UI eventually, but for now it works. And yeah, so I hope you liked it. That's audio.